Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review on ColourPop Cosmetics all 3 fall edits. The first edit features dark vampy kind of shades in the purple reddish family, as you can see here and here. We do see a re-release of the shade Stereo. Before I get into further details about what I think about formula and whatnot, let's look at some swatches. So the first shade I'm swatching up is the shade Stereo. Now, Stereo is a Super Shock metallic shadow, and as you can see when it's applied, it has a purplish burgundy base with a purple golden shimmer throughout. Opaque and smooth to apply, blends easily, but by blending it, you do diminish the amount of shimmer. The second shade is Tang. Tang is a Super Shock matte shadow, and this shade is a cool purple, almost grayish. And this shade blends out very nicely as well, very smooth. Great for layering Stereo over, great all over the lid shade. Now in terms of lips, we have ColourPop Lippy Stick in Dukes, which is a matte formula, and we also have the Dukes liner. Now I'm applying the Dukes liner to my lower lip, and I'm applying the Dukes matte lippy stick to my upper lip. As you can see, they are in the same family of shade. However, even though the ColourPop Lippy Stick is a matte, you can see it is clearly not a matte. It is a satin, and it features a little, you can see it has a little bit of a glossy finish. The pencil is a true matte, and this is a little bit hard to work with. After all, it is a pencil. It's not meant for filling in the entire lip, but as you can see, if you layer this underneath the lippy stick, you will get a little bit more of a matte finish. But on their own, I would say Duke's lippy stick is great on its own, but the pencil, not so great. A little bit streaky, very drying. Then we have the liquid lipsticks, and the first one is ColourPop's Ultra Satin Lip in Hutch. Now this is a beautiful fall shade. A few notes about the satin formula: it does not dry down to a transfer-proof finish. It is a little bit more moisturizing than an ultra matte lip, and it's a little bit easier to work with. Overall, I would say this shade is like a sister to Duke's Lippy Stick in that it's got a very similar color. It's a little bit redder than Duke's, but very much in the same family. That's why I say they look like sisters. Then we have the Ultra Glossy Lip in Sookie, and this shade I feel would look perfect over the Duke's liner. That would just be the ultimate combination. But by itself, as you can see, it is pretty opaque, doesn't give too many issues, like no feathering, no bleeding, it wasn't sticky. It was a really good formula. In terms of gloss, this was impressive. Most dark gloss settle into the fine lines of lips, and they have all sorts of problems, whereas this on its own gave your lips just like a berry shine, but it was a semi-opaque shine. Very much a pleasure to work with. In terms of scent, there was no scent, and that goes for all of these. Then we have the Ultra Matte Lip in Notion. This one is a pinky purple. So of the 3 shades, this one definitely has the most pink or red in it. Now this is the Ultra Matte Lip, so this is going to dry down to a matte finish. It's not completely transfer proof. I do see when I drink things that it does come off a little bit, but it's going to last just a little bit longer than the satin and much longer than the gloss. This was definitely, the first edit was definitely a very vampy edit. High quality all around, from the gloss to the shimmer shadow. Everything was great in this first fall edit. Moving on to the second edit, Terracotta. Now Terracotta has a very warm orangey feel to it, and this one is just the epitome of October. This is just the epitome of like October. Perfect for fall. So let's get swatching. First thing we're going to do is look at the quad. The first shade in the quad is Jinxie, and this is a Super Shock shadow. It has a pearlized finish. This is a beautiful gold if you're not looking to go overly metallic. Very smooth, blends out nicely, very soft, has a slight shimmer to it, but honestly this one would work well as a highlight on the cheeks, great for under the brow, in the inner corner of the eye. Just a great brightening or all over the eye shade. The second shade is Paradox, and this is a satin finished shade, and in the pan it looks a bit burgundy, but when you blend it out, you definitely get like that reddish orangey burgundy shade. It's definitely got a few different dimensions to it when you blend it out. Very smooth, very easy to blend. This one is great for doing like a smoky This one's great for smoky eye. I would even use this as a liner, but I would even use this one as a liner. Great for under the eye. The third shade is Elixir, and this is a matte shade, and this is like a burnt orange shade. This shade was smooth to apply. I would use this on my lid, maybe even top it with Jinxie. This is a great all over the eye shade, good transitional shade as well. The last shade is Seeker. Seeker is an orangey brown shade. Full opacity, it's like a chocolate brown, but when you blend it out, you definitely see just a little bit of orange in it, see a little bit of that redness in it. These four shades definitely all complement each other, definitely all go well together. Now this edit included a blush, and this blush is Berdot, and Berdot is a pearlized finish. This definitely has a little bit of shimmer in it. I would use this as a bronzer just because it's such a dark shade. If you're medium to darker skin tone, this is going to look fabulous on you. If you have a lighter skin tone, you definitely want to blend this out. Use a fluffy brush. Definitely shear this out, diffuse it a little bit. It's definitely going to be a very deep shade. Now in terms of the lip products, we have 3 lip products for this. We have Mama, Lovebug, and Gypsy. Mama is an ultra matte lip. When you first apply this shade, it may look a little bit light on your lips, but rest assured that once it dries down, it gets a little bit darker. So if you're afraid that this might be too bright orange for you, have no worries. When it dries down, it's the perfect medium. It's the perfect medium fall orange. This is definitely no Kat Von D a go-go or anything like that. So nope. So if you felt like you couldn't pull off orange, you should definitely check this one out. Then the second shade is Lovebug, and Lovebug is also an ultra matte lip. Now this shade also is kind of in the orange family, but it's definitely a bit more brown. So again, so if you're really not a fan of orange and Mama was just, you were just like, no, I don't want to risk it, definitely try to pick up Lovebug because it's got that brown tone to it, and this is a great way to experiment with a little bit of that orange for the season, but in a more comfortable way if you're used to your browns, and it's not too dark, so it's not going to come across as vampy. And then the last shade is, I believe, this one's called Gypsy, but I believe they renamed it to Calypso. And I can see why, because that's an offensive name for those who are gypsies. And this is the Ultra Satin Lip. So this is the only satin lip, and this one had a little bit of a wonky brush, I felt, but it applied this formula well. It's a medium to darker type soft pink. I feel like this is right at the end of the spectrum. Like if you love that soft pink look and you want to have it for fall, this is a great way that you can have that nude pinky soft lip, but still have it just be a little bit darker and have it work for fall. So just like with the first edit, there was really no complaints on quality. Everything performed really well in terms of shadows and lip products. Everything was on par of what I expect from ColourPop. So moving on to the last edit, this is the Dusty Rose edit. By the way, I'm wearing a whole bunch of products from it on my face. As for edit number 3, that is the Dusty Rose edit, and it is the last fall edit from ColourPop. This has very soft dusty rose shades, as the name implies, and it features 4 lip products and 3 shadows. Now I've used a lot of these products on my face. Well, you know, I only used 1 lip product, but I used all the eyeshadows on my eyes and my cheeks. So these are super versatile. But let's get swatching. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you guys is the shadows, and the first shadow is Paisley. This is a Super Shock shadow in a glitter sheer formula. I didn't find this too much different from, say, their already existing like shadows. It did contain some obvious shimmer and glitter in it, but we've seen shades like Alchemy, which were very similar to this, that featured just a glitter in it, and some of their other shimmer shades featured glitter, so I didn't feel like this was too much different. But it did feature different reflections. Like if you look at the glitter itself, there's a little bit of pink, a little bit of gold. Very nice bright shade, great for highlighting on the brow bone, in the inner corner of the eye, or even as a highlight on the cheeks. Works really, really well. Then we have the shade Brady, and this is a Super Shock shadow. This is a matte formula. And this was the just classic Dusty Rose shade, just as the name of the collection implied. Very smooth to blend out, great all over the lid shade. Also works well as a blush. Then the last shade in the collection of shadows is Muse, and this is a Super Shock shadow in a pearlized finish. Honestly, this shade felt more like a metallic, applied more like a metallic. I'm not sure why they call it a pearlized. definitely was more metallic in my opinion, and this applied really well whether you're blending it out with a fluffy brush or you're applying right on with your fingers or even as a liner. Really a breeze to work with. In terms of the lip products, there are 4 lip products. The first one that I'm showing you guys is called Barracuda, and Barracuda is an ultra satin lip, and this is a brownish dusty rose shade. This is one of the more darker shades, one of the more like reddish brownish pink shades, meaning that it's going to be a little bit darker. So if you don't like going too light on your lips, this is a great way to go. Smooth application, satin finish, maintains a little bit of that gloss, but also kind of dries down to a matte, but just like all the other satins, it's not transfer proof. Then we have the Ultra Matte Lip in Times Square, and this is a pinky nude shade. I loved how even though this was such a light color, there was no feathering, there was no bleeding, and it was super opaque in just one application. Like, I didn't need to keep layering this on and layering this on. The pigmentation of this was just A+. A+ for pigmentation. Very, very good. That was just a very impressive shade. Then we have a Viper. This is also a dusty rose shade, but I feel like this has a little bit of purple in it. It leans a little purple. So whereas the first one leaned a little bit brown, this one leans a little bit purple. And we have the pinky nude just like right in the center. And again, very soft, easy to apply, dried down to a matte, and the matte formula lasts the longest in terms of wear time. Now the last shade is, I feel like, the most unique shade of this whole collection, and even of all the edits. And this is the shade Femme, and this is an ultra satin lip, and it's pretty much just a grade purple. It's not even like a dusty rose shade. Like it's a little bit out there. Like, I mean, I could see it being like a flower, but definitely not a dusty rose shade. This is, you know, the only part I get is dusty. It's like a dusty purple, dusty gray purple. Reminds me of something like Lime Crime put out a few years ago. Very easy to work with. I actually really liked this shade. I thought it was great for fall. Good option if you do love a good purple lip, but you again don't want to go too vampy. This is your collection. You can have all different shades and not go too vampy. It's a good way to get that look. So guys, in terms of wear time for all of these products, the gloss, which I showed you in the first edit, that lasted the least amount of time with about 2 to 3 hours. The satins lasted 4 to 6 hours. The mattes lasted also about 4 or 5 to like 6, 7 hours. So there's a lot of longevity with these lip products. Even the lippy stick, the pencil, all that lasted really a long time. As for the shadows, I didn't see any creasing. Didn't use any primer to apply these. I don't think you should. Make sure you close the lids real tight because these will dry out, especially the matte ones. You want to be extra careful with those. No creasing, no bleeding. Like, they blend it out really easy. If you want your metallics or your shimmer shades like Stereo to apply better, then use your finger. You really just pat it on, or use a dense brush. Just dense brush and paint it on nice and thick, or use a fluffy brush and diffuse it. You can apply these however you want, but very good quality, and the shadows lasted literally all day long, like 12 hours. Good wear. So guys, did you pick up any of the ColourPop edits, whether edit 1, terracotta, or dusty rose? Let me know in the comment section below, and stay tuned for tutorials on each and every one of these edits to see them in action. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.